What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online family? JamiroFan 2000 here with a special episode of my Heels of Steel Tour recap series for 2025, where I'm going to be discussing a lot of classic Jamiroquai songs getting remastered and retooled and remodified for this Heels of Steel Tour 2025, counting them down, and also about a new question I asked the family about their overall impressions of the Heels of Steel Tour 2025. So let's get into this recap episode. Now, the Heels of Steel Tour 2025 has been trucking on, having been expired by 7 tour dates so far for this tour. But one of the major aspects of this tour, which has not been greatly discussed here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel, is that Jamiroquai have retooled and refunked up some of their classic tracks on the live set list. And I thought I'd record an episode of this recap series to highlight those main changes on all of the songs. And not to mention, I did create a summary post on the online Jamly, on the subreddits of the online Jamly, noting these changes, and have linked to each one of these new modified Jamiroquai songs to a clip from YouTube, so you can check them out in your own time. But let's do a rundown of the 8 songs so far on the live set list for Heels of Steel Tour 2025 have been remodified, reconstituted, and refunked up by Jamiroquai and their live element. First off, All Right has a new intro and outro instrumental portion. Space Cowboy has a new intro, outro instrumental, and lyrical portions, mostly JK ad-libbing in the live element in these live performances. Cloud9 has a complete new arrangement of the song. Tallulah has a new arrangement of the song itself. Canned Heat has a new outro instrumental and lyrical portion, with JK mostly ad-libbing. Cosmic Girl has a new intro instrumental portion. Love Philosophy has a new intro instrumental portion. And lastly, You Give Me Something, which just recently got brought back to the live set list in, I believe, the concert in Cologne, has a complete new arrangement of the song. Now, if you would like to check out examples of all these classic Jamiroquai songs refunked up versions from this recent Heels of Steel Tour 2025, I have, as I aforementioned at the beginning of this episode, this just recap episode, I have made up a summary post of links on YouTube to each one of these classic Jamiroquai songs and their refunkments for everyone in the online family to check out in their own time. So be sure to check out that summary post, which I will, of course, link at the bottom of this recap episode down below. So be sure to check those out in your own time. So let's move on to the second half of this recap episode, talking about a question about the halfway point of the Heels of Steel Tour 2025. Now, like I said, this tour has not disappointed anybody in the online Jamly, but I did, since we're at literally the halfway point, given that this is a 15 tour date tour, recently the 7th gig finishing up in Cologne, Germany, I thought it was a good time to get everybody's Jamly, all the Jamly's impressions of this tour so far. So this is the question I posed for the Jamly and on the subreddits of the online Jamly, and of course on my social media. So technically speaking, we're at the halfway point of Jamiroquai's Heels of Steel Tour for 2025. What have your thoughts been of the quality and sound of the 3 newly aired live tracks on the impending 9th Jamiroquai album, the ever-changing bombacity of the live set list, and your overall thoughts of the tour halfway through for Heels of Steel Tour 2025? I'm most interested in hearing your opinions. If you would like to leave your thoughts and impressions, and we're one of the lucky members of the Jamly, regionally speaking, to go one of the gigs of the Heels of Steel Tour, be sure to relieve your thoughts and your opinions about this post question down in the comments section of this episode of the recap down below. I'm most interested in reading all of your thoughts and impressions and thoughts of the Heels of Steel Tour 2025 so far halfway through. And that is it for this recap episode. The next one coming up will be my recap episode, of course, of tour date number 8. That is emanating from Ziggo Dome in Amsterdam, Holland, which Amsterdam has a long treasured history with Jamiroquai, given it was the first place that Jamiroquai actually toured, and JK got his live chops across in 1993 at the Paradiso, which he touched on in a recent video over on the Jamiroquai HQ official Instagram. But be sure to keep your eyes out for that recap episode with connected potential live video concert footage contributed by lovely members of the Jamly on social media. I'll hopefully have all that out probably a day after the gig on probably November 26th, 2025. So keep your eyes out for that, because this is going to be a busy week of 3 separate gigs from Jamiroquai that I will be covering. So keep your eyes out for those episodes here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel very, very soon. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000, and I'll see you again really soon with more episodes of the Heels of Steel Tour 2025 recap series here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Exciting times, and I'll see you around.